Welcome, beautiful people, to WAVETalks, a podcast by Wave Electronics, where we dive deep into the latest and greatest custom installer trends. I'm your host, B. Stu. I am here with Kevin O'Loughlin from Sony and Rabitt Blake, and they are going to join us and have some fun today and talk with us. So we're excited you're here joining us today, guys. Thank you. Here. So you just had your presentation. I'm sure it went well. We're going to hear a little bit about it, but why don't you give me a quick introduction of yourself and
Sure.
A little background.
Kevin O'Loughlin. I'm the regional sales manager for Sony Electronics. I am in my 35th year with Sony. It seems strange to say that. It's been a great ride, though. A lot of different positions in the company, but CI has always been kind of my passion. So currently managing the central part of the country, dealing with our local representation, such as Rabitt Blake here from New Era Marketing. Wave's been a great partner for years. I think I met Gary in 2003. Wave was shortly formed, and they had their request. They wanted to sell televisions to gallery furniture, and that was kind of the entree to Sony. We approved that Wave to sell to gallery, so that was a long time ago, and it's been a good ride.
That's what we told you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that was the story.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Rabitt, what about you?
So I've been in the business for a long time. Started in retail back in '74. So this next summer, I've been in this industry for 50 years. The founder of Wave Electronics was a guy named Gary Warmoth. He and I were partners for 13 years before I bought him out in 2001, and he started Wave Electronics, and he did very, 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 very well. And Wave is just an exceptional distributorship. They do things much different than everybody else, and I've seen a lot of other competitors of yours follow you.
I love it. And for those of you that can't see this, Rabitt does not look as old as he's saying. He definitely is not. He's aging himself, but he looks great.
I started when I was 3.
Okay, 3. Yeah, there you go. That's 53. So, tell me a little bit, guys, why you enjoy doing business with Wave. Like, what's different? You talk about Wave does things different. You talk about our team a little bit, and just give me a little insight of, why you enjoy doing business with Wave.
I think it's critical that we listen to the customer. It sounds like a cliche, but you just getting a sense of what's happening out there, what the dealers are doing. And I think Wave is exemplary in just kind of, you've changed your operation, right? I mean, everything from opening the warehouse to having guys wander around and pick things, because that's what dealers wanted to do. So staying ahead of, and relevant of current trends, and just kind of listening to the customer and, what they're buying, what they're not buying, and attention to detail, and just the customer service on the back end. I think the support is unparalleled.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. We put a lot of effort into that, and partners like yourself allow us to do things. And as you look at Sony as a whole, a lot of people think of Sony as TVs only, and for us as a distributor, we are looking at the whole picture. And, I think it's important for the audience to really understand what's Sony's involvement in the custom integration space, kind of lay it out to us.
Sure. Yeah, and actually we started as an audio company, right? In the early 50s, transistor radios and reel-to-reel. In the presentation at the Leadership Summit I had a timeline of audio. In 1965 was the first ES branded receiver. So we've been doing this a while. And then obviously video came into play and the beginning of that. But we were a founding member of CEDIA in 1989. We were one of the few manufacturers that recognized this early trend of just not selling electronics at retail. So we've been very immersed in this channel throughout the years in terms of supporting not only the dealer base, but also the entire infrastructure, like distribution, like Wave. How do we better service the dealers? How do we get them to really buy more Sony and provide a better experience to the end user?
Outstanding. We see the same thing.
Yeah, last night we had a meeting with one of your big customers, which is also a big customer of ours, and they talked about their partnership with Wave and what it means to them. And it was very impressive. We talked about they knew that you always had their best interest in heart and getting the right products and doing things like that, doing the right programs for them. So that's always been a feather in your cap.
Well, I appreciate that. Dealer focused. When the vendor partner and the distribution partner are both dealer focused, it really allows the end user to get a great product and our dealers to be able to support them the way they need to.
Absolutely.
You know, as you look at Sony and all the things you've done in 23, which was a very successful year, 24, you know, what are your priorities in 24 and beyond? Where are you guys looking?
We will continue to focus on the premium. So we want to sell better products. We're an entertainment company, and we want the experience of that entertainment to really resonate with the end user, and at the same time providing quality. So we'll continue to focus on higher ASPs. Specific business models to CI, it's so different than retail, and we sell a lot to retail. CI is very different, so that'll continue to be as relevant and just pushing the envelope from that non-retail integration side. And then the other opportunity for us, continue to be a focus, is our Pro product. We make a line of Pro Bravia monitors and projectors, and we see a lot of opportunity. Residential custom integrators now looking, and it's happened over the last few years, but more guys are looking at the commercial space, whether it be light commercial, resi-mercial, and we really want to showcase those products. They're well built. They're really suited for heavy duty as well as light commercial. So those kind of our areas, higher ASPs, and then expand some of the product categories. ES receivers and ES projectors are a cornerstone of our program. We'll continue to focus on that and figure out how to get more guys to sell receivers. The industry was a challenge for a couple of years during the pandemic and supply chain, and there weren't a lot of AVRs to sell. A lot of guys had to finish a job. They had to change their system design to get something in, and a lot of guys moved away from AVRs. We're trying to bring them back into the fold with the ES line.
That's outstanding.
And don't forget crystal LED.
CLED, crystal LED. So our video wall technology is based on crystal LED, very much a premium, by far the best picture quality for that. And that'll only come to become more and more residential friendly over the years. So that'll continue to be a focus point. Video walls we see as definitely an emerging segment.
Big emerging segment. As you're the second person I've heard today use the word resi-mercial.
Yeah.
And so for Wave, a big focus for us this year is commercial. Okay. We're launching a bunch of commercial products of our own. And have a big commercial launch going on. So it's exciting to hear that there's even more partnership between us. Yep. You talk about crystal LED. What product are you most excited about for this year?
It's probably boring, but I think the ES AVR lineup, again, not having new product for a couple of years, the stuff is built amazing. I've not had one dealer push back on quality. It integrates well. We've got partnerships with all the control companies on there. It is a cornerstone of a lot of systems. And like I mentioned earlier too, trying to get guys back in to selling the receivers. So that, and then the Master Series television, quantum dot to mini LED. There's going to be a renewed emphasis on mini LED this year. Our backlight technology for people that want the brightest and greatest contrast, that's going to be a pretty exciting segment for us.
Great. That's exciting. You stated earlier, you've been at Sony quite some time, 35 years. How's the company changed? From our perspective, there's a lot of changes in products and innovation, but from a company perspective, what has it changed or stayed the same?
Yeah, it's really moved from a hardware company. So I was in the late 80s enjoying to really, and again, I mentioned we're in the entertainment business, and Sony has become an entertainment entity. The purchase of Columbia Records, which is now Sony Music, Sony Pictures, and also the electronics and obviously the gaming side. So hardware still got an essential part of it, but really it's moved into, and like I said, an entertainment, an intellectual property, and an overall experience of that. So almost the slide far away from hardware to software, just kind of I don't want to say virtual, but really kind of moving into this next space of, everything from imaging sensors, obviously on the entertainment side. Electronics will still continue to be a focus, but and the people that work there, and that's been one of the kind of the nice benefit of the longevity I've had. Just really good people to work with inside the company, outside the company, like Rabitt, has kind of been the mainstay and kind of that's been the consistent throughout the years.
That's great.
Sony's in a lot of different categories people don't really understand. We just talked about the sensors, like on your car, for cars that are around you, those are Sony sensors. In the security business, when people talk, oh, this is a Sony camera, that's always big. So Sony's never going to be the least expensive, but it's always going to be the best quality.
Yeah.
That's one thing you can say. It's like the Mercedes-Benz of our industry.
Yeah, it's all of our jobs to put it in front of the dealers and get them to understand the value of it all. And the fact that you have a complete solution is something that excites us. As you look at Sony and you look at the relationship, you've been in the business a long time. You've both been working with Wave quite some time. You know, it's for those of you that don't know, you know, Kevin is one of the most even-keeled people that is tough to break. I don't think I've ever seen you angry. I don't think I've ever seen you upset. I don't think, you know, we've had tough business conversations. He's always been level-headed. Well, on the other side of the table, you have Rabitt, and you breathe wrong, and the guy will bop you on the head. And so, you know, he throws up the knuckles. But we have two very different personalities in the room today. And what's interesting about that is, you know, I like to talk about, you know, funny stories or different things that have happened throughout the years. And, you know, man, I have tried to dig up anything on Kevin, and there is absolutely nothing to dig up on Kevin other than one fun thing. And I'm hoping as we do some, you know, videos and edits into the podcast, there'll be some fun stuff. But, you know, I was talking with Ainsley. I'm like, Ainsley, tell me a little something funny about Kevin. Tell me a little something that you give him crap about. And he's like, so Bryan, there's a picture of Kevin from when he was a kid in Christmas Story.
Loves that.
And so Ainsley was bringing up how, you know, Kevin looks just like the kid in Christmas Story, and he sent me over the video, and it is absolutely hilarious.
Ho, ho, ho.
So
My family's been saying that for 50 years.
50 years.
I'll shoot my eye out. Yeah, it's the problem with getting glasses when you're two. They stay with you the entire time. So
I mean, you've been around Rabitt forever. Any fun stories around Wave or anything? I mean, give me some dirt on Mr. Fukuda. You know, anything that you want to throw.
You know,
there.
Mark Fukuda and I go way back to October of '92, and that's when I'd met him before that, but that's when I had a business relationship with him. And Mark is absolutely one of the brightest people in our industry, and he's one of the most talented people. And I've told him that to his face. You know, he's extraordinary, and it shows in everything that he does. And you know, there was a time when Gary and I brought Mark in, and we started a business with Fukuda All-Your Specialist Training called FAST. And this is when Gary and I were partners, and Mark was building out this shop, and he was living with me at the time. And one night, I saw Mark in the bedroom, and he's reading a book. And it's a book on woodworking. Who's going to read a book on woodworking?
Mark Fukuda.
Absolutely. I mean, it boggled my mind. And he told me, he says, I have to read it twice. Oh, I'd rather eat bugs. You know, are you kidding me? Yeah. So there's some extraordinary people that have been in and around Wave, and going back to Gary Wormuth that started everything and created the culture. And Gary's a very unique person.
Yeah.
So
the culture has been driven definitely from that, and through transition, through change, the culture has always stayed the same, and that's
absolutely,
that's what we love.
The fish always stinks from the top.
Damn right. It always does. Always does. So, you know, in closing, you know, what do you want the dealers listening to take away from Sony? Like, if you were to leave one message and you want them to stick with this for 24, what is that message to the dealers?
I would say continue to sell the best experience. That's why we offer the premium products that we do. We're selling entertainment. The goal is for them to make money. The goal is for Wave to make money. The goal is for Sony to make money. Selling the better goods will do that. It gets a better experience for your customer. I think it's a general idea that just continues to push upstream and above and beyond what else everyone else is selling. So sell the good stuff.
Outstanding.
I could add to that. I don't think there's a vendor in our industry that is a better partner than Sony. And I can tell you, out of the close to 10 years that we've represented and worked with Kevin at Sony, they've never left a dealer in the lurch. They've always taken care of the dealer, always taken care of the customer, always taken care, and they're always striving to find a way to, how can I be a better partner? What can we do to be better?
Yeah.
And I don't think that message gets out there enough. No, I mean that sincerely.
We feel that as a distributor as well. It's a mutual relationship, and it makes you want to work harder. It makes you want to produce, and it makes you want to ensure that the message gets out there. So, we're very thankful to be a partner, and really thankful for you joining us today on the podcast. You're welcome back anytime you guys want to come back, especially you, Rabbit.
Wait, I'm not? He sounds like I'm not invited back.
You're always invited.
But you know how Bryan lies.
Yeah.
He lies.
Just a rabbit.
Exactly.
He calls me BS for a reason.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the time. It's been great. It's great having you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay.
If you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around. Here at WAVETalks, we also want to continue the conversation with you. Please send us what you'd like us to dive into next. Email us at wavetalks@waveinc.net or visit wave-electronics.com/waveu for all your helpful resources. Talk soon.